speaker is Evgenia Sendova. I'm sure you know Jenny. Jenny is now at the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, and we'll now hear her voice and her dance.
I'll start where Pavel finished with digital mathematics in its first sense. With 3 hands as Karin's friend of the instrument needed. But let me start with a small warm-up problem. So, if you take just one of these cylinders and you cut it in half, the result is what?
2 6.
2 6. Now take 2 of those, put them like this, and do the same operation to the new configuration. What do you get? Think a little bit. If you by any chance know the answer, don't. Don't pretend that you are more clever than I already know. So, what is the answer? Make guesses. Be brave. So the first association is very bad. But it reminds you of jail somehow. If you continue, and I've seen this done in front of 200 professional mathematicians, no one gave the right answer. Now we continue the challenge. Some of you have seen this beautiful construction. By the way, it is used as a symbol of many mathematical institutions, including my Institute of Mathematics. Some of the kids even know its name, the obvious Triwriting Institute, right there? So what happens if you do the same operation now? So the experienced mathematicians know this. It's a great surface, only one face. You remember the beautiful painting by Escher where the ant goes around it. And to the great surprise of the kids, they see that this is just one thing, not 2. What it is, I don't know. What will happen if you continue cutting is also interesting. This is for homework. But what happens if you now take 2 opposite sides and do the same problem and this one? Any guesses? So normally I put all the guesses on the blackboard. The one who is the closest gets some reward. But because you are not people who are interested in rewards other than moral, okay, I'm listening. Be brave. This will be even interesting for me because the unit measure for clumsiness is 1 J. So just in case I prepared one here, but hopefully this will work as well. Any guesses? How many things? And what shape?
2.
1? Everybody trembles.
2 hands.
And things are 14 of February. I think this is enough. But I will So, you can imagine my first conference with so many, my first local conference was in '86, which coincided with my first trip to the United States, which was a dream come true. And I met what I knew were real legends of law. And when I wanted so much to come here and couldn't find believing in me sponsor to support this trip, I realized that people who are leading projects and have executed the budget, of course, they want you to go to conferences they organize in specific projects. So, in addition, I was very uncertain in this wonderful community. Would I say something new and something interesting? Especially that another problem, Andre, goes, what another would have said as well as you, do not say. What another would have written as well, do not write. So how to combine these two thoughts, each one of them being so true? And I decided to make a slight excursion from the first days of Logo in Bulgaria to the last experience I'm having with wonderful kids from all over the world who work in constructionist spirit without knowing the word. A couple of months ago, a famous scientist and important person in the European Union Commission started her presentation with this picture. When and where can you see this event? Of course, this is Bulgaria, 24th of May, the same Cyril and Methodius, and these are Cyrillic letters. We have a special fest of culture, literacy, and letters, and this is 24th of May. And at this day, teachers are the most important people. They open the fest, not the prime minister. So a couple of words of the educational system in Bulgaria and the culture of learning, just to put you in the context. These were her opening slide, but the next slide was this histogram, showing how many people of the population of a specific country think their government supports and stimulates young people's interest in science. And here, the circle is Bulgaria, where the red bar shows the percentage of those who believe that too little is done for this. So, you know that when one person says this, he's a genius. I know that, I know that. When two people say this, this is trivial. But when three people say this, and this is what we hear more and more in my country, we believe that educational system should be reformed. Again, what does it mean? What it is to make a reform? Some people believe it is to put laptops in every single people's hand. And you see this awful picture, I hate this. I see this in almost every computer study in Bulgaria as a symbol of a new technology arriving in school. And just see what it symbolizes. Iron people, back to back, no communication, everybody looking in their laptop. Even Pavel and his beloved wife now were sitting a couple of years next to each other, everybody looking at their computers before they look at each other and tell So what I really want is this picture of young kids. This is in the Museum of Education in Gabrovo, where you have sand instead of board, and they draw with fingers, but look at their eyes. This is joy and love for learning. So people who have been in Bulgaria, thanks to an educational experiment that started in '79, remember that a new curriculum was designed, a new subject appeared called language and mathematics, where natural languages, Bulgarian, English, and Russian, were studied in parallel with mathematics as a formal language, and with logo as a formal but executable language in addition to language. And teachers would teach in couples. A language teacher, math teacher, language teacher, computer science teacher. So it was a wonderful experience. Till today, I meet people and they remember with great love those days. This experiment was visited by famous specialists in education, both from Russia and the States. From England, too. So, the first one was Simon Slovakian psychologist from Russia, who visited one of our experimental schools, and he said, Jenny, could you please describe your school with one sentence, not using the word computer? At that time in Leningrad, Petersburg, there were, as I was told, 20 computers from different types. So at the time, informatics was considered second literacy, but the idea was that you don't need computers to do it. You can use theoretical knowledge. So that's why he didn't want the computer were present in my education. I thought for a while and I said, okay, I think our kids go to school with love. And he was very happy. And this love word appears in the thoughts of many of the local pioneers. So my next story is about Simon Pepper visiting one of our schools, who was given a very challenging problem just because we had two computers next to each other with identical on the surface procedure, but one was working, the other was not. So after discussing with their teacher what the problem was, and both of us didn't find it, I challenged Simon. I said, Simon, now tell us how you debug problems like this. So this is the most simple procedure decomposing the problem he got in Bulgarian version of law. And his first question was, is this word to? Yes. Is this word and? Yes. So probably this is repeat, this is forward, this is right. Right? Yes. So he tried the square, which is quadratic Bulgarian, to run it. No. He took the body of the procedure, put it in command center. No. Finally, he reduced everything to the command forward 100, the red one. No. No reaction. The turtle was sitting like that. And he looked happy and said, hardware problem. This was a Bulgarian computer Apple II compatible. And then, as a reward, I invited the kids to ask him whatever question they liked. And I expected everything about Disneyland, about the movie stars, about cars. No. The first question was posed by a boy who said, do you in the States have such a good teachers as our teacher? And this is what I took from his speech, in opening speech for Children in Information Age conference, when he said, I was so moved, I didn't know what to say. Of course, their teacher is a wonderful person, Miroslava Vikyarova is her name, but we can create educational environment that bring out the love for the teacher and the love for everyone else there. So that's where love is something I really would like to emphasize. Today, if you open European projects dealing with STEM, that's what this is part of the project. So how do poor teachers orient themselves in such an ocean of resources? In my country, in my institute, we are at the moment working on these several projects, the key phrase being inquiry-based learning. If you read the definition of inquiry, it is very much like construction. What they miss in the definition is putting an public entity making a product that is shareable, which is the most natural thing nowadays. There are, of course, at least theoretically 4 levels of inquiry-based learning. I'll go briefly through each one of them, emphasizing Of course, the general thing among all these projects is the new role of teachers seeing themselves as learners. But the love for learning and for explorations and for inquiry should be encouraged from the kindergarten through the middle school. And these are maybe, this is part of what we delivered to Kronis 2 years ago and couldn't present unfortunately. And one of the co-authors is a teacher working with 5th and 6th grade who said that now that she learned how to use dynamic environments which are in the Kronis terminology half-baked microworlds, she would never think of teaching about geometric transformation without using this software, because not only they can play Escher with this, but if they are short of the number of points because they would like to have smoother curves, they have to upbuild new points so as to be better Escher type of players. And even more so, and these are 6th graders in this case, I gave them the challenge to make metamorphosis without giving them the tool, the mathematical tool. The kids came up with the idea how to do this. And this is so look how they made a dog being transformed into a sword. And now their contribution is updated together with our software, with our half-baked. So here we have a virtual math lab with more than 800 dynamic scenarios of the kind. One of the models we always give them is modeling something beautiful around them, to open their eyes for the beauty. Sometimes we would tell them, okay, find the beautiful ceiling, wood carved, and make a model. Make a dynamic model with it, using rotational symmetry. And imagine that in 4th grade, in 4-year, university students ask us, what do we mean by wood-carved ceiling? And they lived in Plovdiv, where they have ancient part of the town full of most beautiful ceilings of the kind. So we are so fixed in covering certain curriculum, and our kids don't have eyes to see the beauty around them, to see that math is not formula and numbers only. It's much more than that. It's opening your eyes for beauty. So here is a quotation of one of the teachers we have been working with the first experiment. She says that in the past, my students were used to asking Google first, but the inquiry-based learning approach is so powerful, it motivates the students to be inquirers, to reveal their potential. I feel the constructionist spirit reborn, because 20 years later, she feels the same spirit reborn. So when people ask me what happened to the experiment, I said the democratic government said everything that was initiated during the socialism should be forgotten. Follow the American educational system.
Wow.
Yes. But at least the spirit is there. That's my consolation. And what we saw in Gary Stager's presentation, the beautiful ceramics artifacts, is here performed in a real wood carving school where kids are first doing this with computers and then realize their ideas with wood carving. So this is another slide of Anne Glover who said, okay, at least you have a good education for the very gifted students, because it's traditionally that we get some gold medals in math Olympiads, in informatics Olympiads. But again, I ask them, do you think this is the real profession of being mathematician, of being scientist, to solve a problem for fixed time whose answer is no? It's not the same. You need research. So this is a visit to math schools where kids believe that math is only competitions. They care only about getting gold medals. They don't know about doing research at that age. And starting, you see, I challenged them with my similar task. So in the year of mathematics, 2000, we started a new form working with kids who are motivated with math and science, but mainly in terms of doing competitions. So these are the towns in Bulgaria covered with projects in mathematics and informatics research style. There is a math conference, so what we call it is Institute of Mathematics and Informatics for High School Children. And they have conferences, they present their projects, they work under the mentorship of scientists, and their teachers are rewarded together with them. There is a summer school, and the most important thing as output of the school is an interview for RSI, which you see on my t-shirt, which stands for Research Science Institute, originally Recover Science Institute, an international program for high school students from all over the world, established by Admiral Recover, the founder of nuclear submarine, 31 years ago. So what we ask the kids to do is to demonstrate, in addition to their scientific talents, some other musical, dancing talents, painting, and also to teach me how to play koro in English. So they have to show communication skills, good English, and other talents than the normal one. So several words about RSI. How are we doing this time? Excellent. So this is my first definition. The place where to be extraordinary is the most ordinary thing. You can't get inferiority complexes there because everybody is genius and this is not. So even being the most stupid in my case, I feel perfectly happy. The thing is that even being the most stupid, you can always find something to tell the kids. Be it a joke, be it a ping pong lesson. So as a teacher, we should find ways to enrich our communication with kids, to be glad that we gain something from this from them, and they gain something from communicating with us. It's not about reading a lesson or proving a theorem with your back up or with your back to the audience. If this was teaching, this type of school is dead, and teachers should realize this. They are very afraid of working with talents because they are not comfortable as university professors of saying, I don't know. They believe they have to know it. And when they don't know which button to press and what will happen if they press the wrong button, they feel lost. And that's why even lessons in information technologies in Bulgaria are turned into teachers reading from a textbook and kids as a dictation. No products, it's awful. So I would like to start with this fantastic picture of, you recognize Paul Erdős, the great Hungarian mathematician, and Terence Tao, who got Fields Medal, which for mathematicians is more than Nobel Prize because it's only every 4 years, and the age days come all the it's like another age, but we had a woman Fields Medalist very soon, which is a good thing. But just look at their expression. That is what a real scientist is. Enjoying thinking hard on the problem. And we were discussing with Jim at the coffee break that very often the gifted kids are neglected because we believe once they are so gifted, they could survive on themselves. But unlike the treasures in the under the ground, who are treasures no matter when you find them, the talents, if not discovered early enough, could be lost forever. That's why we have to take care from very early age to identify them, to cultivate them, to help them flourish. So another important for me picture is Vasily Dimitrov, a Bulgarian kid who was in the high school institute in 2003 and then in RSI, graduates from Harvard. He spent a whole year to understand what the author pretended to be the proof of old hypothesis ABC conjecture, open for many decades. The Japanese author pretended that he had proven it and developed a new mechanism to do this. But to understand his language was very time-consuming. Very few mathematicians took the jump to do this. One of them was Vasily, who spent a year of real life, of learning this language, reading the proof, and he found a mistake. You know that even Andrew House were debugging his proof for a year with the help of some friends. So here Dennis Dow says in a blog, it would be difficult to be optimistic about the proof until this issue is somehow resolved. So he is not optimistic. And now you wonder, is it worth spending a year just to find a mistake in someone's proof? But that's what mathematicians are about. They enjoy the process. And that's what we try to convey in this program. For kids to enjoy the process of what they believe is a failure. These are my students from this year. 17 kids from 12 different countries. So during the program, which is 6 weeks, they meet famous scientists. This is Tom Layton, Akamai, good mathematician who solved a very important problem in the context of internet. Brian Carney, when he's in Boston, he talks to the kids who are computer science, who work on computer science projects. We have math breakfast where alumni of the program come and share their problems and their current emotions. And here you see Professor Dudley Hirschbach, who is Nobel Prize in Chemistry, and eats his sandwiches in MIT canteen, talking to kids before the lecture, after the lecture, spending hours with them, and on an occasion asking me to find the boy who could help him in making an algorithm more efficient. That's how much he believes in these things. These are Bowman Kettering, Nobel Prize in Physics, and Philip Sharp in Biology. So my role in this program is to help the kids present their research in oral and written form in a way that is approachable by a more general audience. So we have a lot of tricks about post-lesson sections. Maybe the only representation by Pavel, who was slightly better than this, was one which he called PowerPoint-less presentation. And he said, although it was pointless, it was not pointless or powerless. And here we first teach them how to present their projects at the level of ideas, using their hands only. There are so-called math breakfasts on the grass, meeting the so-called nobodies, people who are alumni of the program, but just passing by would spend a couple of days or a couple of hours with the kids talking to them about their project. This is Kit Armstrong, who is a famous musician, but his project was on theory of group. That's him now. This is Zach Abel, third-year PhD student in Harvard, who go to his website to see what mathematical sculptures make out of clips only.
What's his name?
Zach Abel.
Zach. Yeah.
Yes. So he says that what he does could be called recreational mathematics or mathematical recreations. He's not sure about it. because after building this, he proves mathematically how many elements you need and what body this is. Of course, they are so exhausted at the end that this is the normal scene. But this is not strange for MIT because at MIT they say real men do not sleep. Real women are real men.
Moving about later.
This is several examples of projects. One was a Polish kid, Bartek Tarnowski, who developed transform lab, what he called, where one turtle does simplified Einstein, as you can see, and the other makes it his transformed phase under inversion. Something that is not in the normal math curriculum. So, you present to a normal math audience, this is one of the papers this year, you would start with definition, or several slides of definitions, which is killing the normal public. This kid started with a nice parallel between graph theory and soap opera writers, doing the love triangles and saturated graph, showing triangles in a setting that is interesting for the kids. And this is the most serious stuff. And I might end up with a Bulgarian kid who spent a whole night with the temperature training for this trick with which he demonstrated non-commutativity.
Today I will have the pleasure to show you how we use the so-called overcentric series to measure the level of non-commutativity of given algebraic objects. But first of all, let's get to the basics. What is the notion of commutativity? A times B equals B times A. Sounds intuitive, right? What is fascinating is that mathematics, and I like it as a general, you find a lot of structures which don't have commutative operations. For instance, before I go to an RSI lecture, I would like to use this string operation. Putting first my shoe on my socks on and afterwards my shoes. But let me ask you, this is the result, right? What is going to happen if I reverse it?
So this is the whole MIT department laughing at this metaphor for non-commutative operations, putting your shoe on and putting your sock on. And he passed the whole presentation with his sock on his shoe and rehearsed the whole night to do this for a couple of seconds, not to waste his time. So that's how seriously they take the fun part. This is the normal pose of our director after the school. Some of them then present their products in Intel ICEF competition, publish their results in professional journals. Roman got second award in the math category this year at Intel ICEF. But the nice thing, and I have included their thoughts in full in the proceedings, is passing the torch. These are pictures of these alumni of Bulgarian Institute of Mathematics and Informatics for high school students and RSI, who are teaching the next generation Bulgarian kids and finding even bigger satisfaction in passing the torch. So that's what the Hirschbach said himself, that teaching is very valuable to your research. And creativity occurs at all levels of giftedness, from the lowest to the highest. And we, as educators, we need to foster and value creativity wherever we are.